All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining me and welcome back. Session 29 on the song Rumination. Today's focus is going to be that horn section again. Um, done kind of a deeper dive, thinking wise, into what we're trying to achieve and how we're going to achieve it. And I still feel like I really want brass in there. I like brass. Um, I grew up listening to ska punk, then I was into reggae for a while. Uh, Now I'm into funk and stuff. A lot of brass and all of that. And I wanted in mine too. So I started, really think about the way that I was arranging things and, how I wasn't really putting my mind in the place of a brass player and actually like imagining three guys working together to write parts for music. And so the old pattern would look something like this here, um, where it's just a bunch of chords. And if you really break it down, what you're seeing here is I must have seven brass players in my band, because all these parts would be played by different people. Uh, Brass instruments are monophonic, and the sound is going to be coming from one source at a time, and you might have multiple sources, but there's no chords on a brass instrument. So I think for our sake, I am going to limit us to three instruments on brass. Um, Part of me even wants to just do two, but I think three allows us to achieve the sensation that we can make a chord if the three players are all, you know, playing different parts in the same scale. You can end up with a situation like this where you kind of see a chord being built out. Um, so, from a composition standpoint, this was kind of lazy writing, and now we're kind of entering into a new realm here, which is good. We want that. Um, and so the next thing we need to focus on, I mean, I still have some things I want to figure out about how this part is going to work. Um, but like, I think I've got some cool patterns and some cool ideas of what one instrument would be doing. My vision would be like a trumpet and a saxophone. Both of those kind of more for melody, and then like a bassier instrument, a trombone, baritone sax, giving some deeper kind of bass type stuff in the lower end. So that's kind of what I did here. So you'll see these chords are starting out high because that's how the chorus goes. Dun, 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 dun. So you can kind of see that here. There's just a little, a flourish, I guess we'll call it, but that's probably not the right word. Um, by one of the instruments here, the trumpet kind of goes out of the regular scale here to match what we did where it's building, and you'll hear that. A little more trumpet here, and then this is where the trombone kind of comes out to shine. It plays along with the kick drum. So let me show you what I came up with. I've taken all the reverb off and everything. Pretty sure. Yeah, I think a sidechain compressor on there, and I have a CLA. Um, we can leave those on or off. It doesn't really matter at this point. Um, so here's what I came up with. Still not in love with it. I mean, I do really like some aspects of it, but we've got some work to do on on the actual composition side, the notes we're playing, the pattern of the notes we're playing, and then we've got some work to do on the dynamic side, which is how, like, the expressions of each note. Um, and before I hit record this morning, I was watching some videos and doing some research on how to best manage those articulations. And it sounds like it sounds like that feature is something that I'm only going to get at least made easily because what I think I can do probably is automate this. In fact, I can probably tell you right now if I can do that. Um, but it sounds like it's going to be a feature in terms of the easy part of it on a more expensive horns program. And I'm not sure which one I want or um, how much money I want to spend on it. So I'll find that in a little bit here. Sometimes I found it best to just like put it on touch mode and then touch what I want to touch, and then whatever it comes up with, then you know, because sometimes this library of all the options that you can sort through gets a little like tedious. Reverb amount, humanizer. Detune stereo with reverb. See, I didn't even really see it on there. But anyways, let's have a listen to this. What's happening? Okay, so I don't know why it sounds so different this morning. What did I change? Main. Oh, I took out, I was in full section. That's probably what it was. So yeah, there's a lot of work to be done on there, but in the context of the song, I think there's some cool elements that in time we're going to bring out. So let's hear it with the rest of the song. So that's kind of what I came up with. Don't love it, but I don't hate it enough to abandon it yet. So, let's hang out for the next 30, 40 minutes and figure out what we can do with it. Try to get it there. I did watch a video from mastering.com this morning. And I'll link it because I'm referencing it and I used it. But it's kind of the same crap that I've been talking about, where you got this how to make the most of your brass section of session horns. And he had session horns pro, so automatically I'm at a disadvantage. because the key switching that was a feature that I didn't know. So if you don't know, what that means is on your bass notes of your keyboard, you can play like C-1, hold that down while your right hand plays the melody that you're imagining as a trumpet part. And as you're doing that, if you switch to D-1 or E, you change those articulations. And so you can go from the rips, the swells, grace notes, all the stuff that we've seen in that articulation window. You can change much easier in Sessions Pro and in some of the other brass VSTs. But I've noticed they're all kind of hanging out around, like $200, $200 to $300. The Session Horns Pro, I'm not going to switch to because it's got like 30 gigs of samples, and I just can't imagine that I need that much. It sounds like that's more for cinema. So I'm kind of leaning towards something more like maybe like Big Fish Audio, vintage horns or something, because I do want that vintage sound. So we'll see. I might invest in something like that rather than go out, buy some brass instruments, buy some microphones, think that I'm going to learn how to play in the time that we're moving between now and a month or two from now when we're back in California. It's probably best that I focus on keeping this operation like kind of internal to the computer, at least for the immediate future, because I'm not going to be able to lug around a bunch of a drum set and all this stuff. So, but I don't like you can't demo Big Fish Audio. That's bugging the heck out of me. So, all right, so so let's see if we can put it on touch mode. And then I guess you would have to, let me pause it. What's happening here? Things have gone awry. There we go. I had my finger off the space bar. Scratch pad, I don't need that. All right, I'm gonna move this up to the top just in case I get lost again. I know right where I'm going. Okay. So I guess you would have to have this open. Record. Did it capture anything? It did not. So that doesn't bode well for us. If we can't automate this articulation, this plugin is useless. In which case, Native Instruments, I've about had it, dude. About had it. I've had a few different things in this, I don't know, $50 to $100 range plugins that just, why don't you just give me 2 instruments and a little more control than giving me 4 and not letting me do it. But before I go bashing Native Instruments, let me make sure that I really can't do this. So all of those controls are right here, I believe. Excuse me. Yeah, sound, humanize. kind of nice. Anyways, let me not read through settings while I'm sitting on here with you. I just don't even understand how you would use that. These are just like the It's disappointing, man. It just, and it makes it hard to write when you don't hear it realistically. It makes it hard to really take this on. So I already know that I think this is coming in too loud. And this is a root note of the chord, so I actually do want that to play through. And then I'm going to put it back on sustain for now. That's the cleanest sound, I guess. So I think it's okay if one note plays through there. This one goes up. Can I get this one out of here to stick with our 3 rule, 3 players? That'd be cool if, like, the second time through they were a little off. Better how it was. So, and then your saxophone leaves. And then maybe we can fit 2 more of these little guys in right here. Just for the sake of... maybe not. I don't want to try to put 4 in. I wanted to try to keep that rhythm going following that kick drum, but I want this part to be very clean and tight between all the instruments, so I'm not sure that I actually want anything different playing. I guess it doesn't, like, the trombone doesn't need to play everything. That's one of the things I need to remember, is not all the members would be playing at once of our little triplet. It's a duet and then a trio. Duh. Our little horn trio here. So, I think that sounds pretty cool. Oh, I never finished my thought about the mastering.com video. So, well put together video. Kind of made me feel like I need to do a better job. But again, my goal here is not to provide a tutorial. I'm literally working on my own music right now, and you're watching live. So the goal of this channel remains, if I had a music studio and you and I were friends, even if there's two of us watching, two of you watching, or 1,000 of us hanging out, the goal of this channel is for you to be sitting in the studio with me on a couch, hanging out, doing your thing. You want to have a drink, cool. Whatever you'd be doing and we'd be, doing to hang out in the studio is what this channel is all about. So, and basically this video didn't tell me anything that I didn't already sort of think of as I was playing last night. He talked about realism, holding your breath through a note to see if it's even possible to play that. What else did he say? Articulating things as monophonic and imagining various parts playing together, but playing their own part. So because each guy would be reading his own music, and then a little he did like switching up. I think he called it call and response, like switching up who's playing what. And then the articulations was the big thing. Then when it came to the mixing part, which is where I said it, I struggled. Number one, I've been struggling because I've been writing stuff that looks like this, which is no good. It's really not realistic. It looks like a piano part or a synth part. So that makes it hard to mix because it fills out too much of the spectrum of frequencies, and we have a lot of instruments. This is a very full track, so there's not room for this to we have to keep it really low for it to shine everywhere in that sort of a manner, because it's in the bass, it's in the mids, it's in the treble. So but then when it came to the mixing part, the video had nothing. Oh, you should apply a little EQ and a little compression and you got it. So I just, sometimes I don't appreciate that. I don't appreciate when someone does a tutorial and their mix window has no plugins on it. And you're trying to convince me that you've got what it takes to do a professional sound. To me, this is what it should look like. Crap everywhere, as you're working your way through it. But maybe he did something different where, he kind of bounced everything just to not give away his plug-in chains. I guess I understand that, if you are a pro. I'm not really in the interest of, in the business of bashing people. That's not what this is about. It's just, I don't have a lot of time to watch videos and come in here and do this. Right now it's 4:27 a.m. I woke up at 3. I had to wake up for an hour before I jump on here because otherwise my voice is even deeper than it is right now, and I can't think straight because I was, middle of the night. So, to watch a 16-minute video before I hit play and really not get too much out of it is because it's a little frustrating when it claims to tell you that you're going to know how to use VST brass after this. So anyways, I think I'm okay with that. It's just we need dynamic control because it should be bump bump bump. Like we should have a swell there. So yeah, I've got some thinking to do about how I want to invest in something that gives us a little more control over this, because everything else sounds so good. I would hate to do the song a disservice by putting cheesy MIDI brass in it that sounds like a hip hop track or something. And again, on hip hop tracks, when they're mixed in such a way that cheesy brass works, then it works. But in this song, I just don't think it's going to work. I think it's going to make it sound like a demo. And we're already kind of straddling that and fighting that battle of not having a professional space, and, you know, kind of working at an inferior level to pro quality everything around you. I've got a couple pro quality things here and there. Um, and so we're doing the best we can to get out of that demo realm and into, hey, this is done well. It's recorded properly. The levels are right. It might just be a little lo-fi, you know? So something I don't like there. I feel like that should be right. That should be like a fifth. Maybe these just need to be a little quieter. See that? It's not playing. Like I want one of those to be the alto. Guess you could have two trumpets, but oh, that's the one I want right there. So listen to how this one sounds. Oh, I have a different note in there. What is that? Oh, there's a D. Maybe that's the difference. This note plays. Is that what it was? Okay. So maybe it's this one. Yeah, that's a little better. And then this one used to come in. So then the second time through, I don't want it to do that. Try this. Oh, I like that better. But let's also try, well, that kind of goes against the call and response sort of thing. Cool, I guess. Yeah, that's what was missing, was that the D before you go into the D sharp. Okay. I feel like there's a lot of potential in having something right there. Don't, just like a little scared to make it too busy, but we're gonna just mute that and leave it there. Because it's kind of a good preview of what's to come. And if you can hide it enough, it'll be something that, you know, you gotta really, really be listening to pick up on. Okay, let's take it from the top. Let's give a listen here and just kind of regroup, see where we're at. How we like that. note that's wrong in there. Cool. I like it, man. So there was something funny happening in there. What is that note? You hear that? Oh, you know it would be cool actually if the second time through sorry, I just like got lost in highlighting those, that the trombone plays this. So one thing that comes to mind is that in this, with the way that we have this set up, we would have 3 band members doing nothing through the bridge and the verse and the intro. That kind of bothers me a little bit. But I'm hesitant to try to put horns through the whole song. I haven't heard them once in my head in any of the parts. And I suppose at some point this may be where we need to deviate from this strict adherence to the realism of physical human beings playing certain parts for an entire 3-minute performance. I just think, I don't know, at this time, today, this morning, that sounds like a serious undertaking to imagine what all the horns would be doing in the bridge, but I guess I can brainstorm on it and we can try to figure it out later. I wanted to try putting that Acme Opticom compressor on this and just see. Supposedly this is kind of a one-trick pony and it might be more of a mastering thing. Let's just stick with our CLA. Let's turn that back on and see what we get. See, there's no presets for brass on this, so maybe this is like not the right compressor. Like literally have no idea what that is. Well, I'm kind of okay with that. I still don't think this plugin's going to cut it. So, um, off camera in 5 minutes, I could have a new plugin. We'll see what happens. So, I think let's call it there for today. We've got some horns. The arrangement's pretty cool. We'll probably make a few changes, but I'm gonna do some more research after I end this recording and try to figure out what I want to get so that we can really do this. I want to achieve this. I want to have cool horns in there, and having the ability to do those articulations kind of more quickly is going to bring a lot more realism to the part. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you enjoyed this session and maybe learned something. I was a little gripey this morning in terms of other people's stuff, so apologies there. Mastering.com, if you check out something on session horns, There's a video there where you can learn a little more. I definitely learned a little something about the expressions, so that was critical. So thanks to those guys for that. It was a good video. I was just like ready to start recording, and then it was 16 minutes, and I have ADHD, and I was like, I'll just skip ahead, and I was like, you're gonna miss something critical, and yada yada yada. So, and then native instruments still bugging the crap out of me with your session horns. And I'm probably going to move away from it because of that one thing that I can't automate. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you have a great Friday, and we'll see you back sometime this weekend for sure. I look forward to it. Take it easy, guys. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this.